talking to SoulKhan about tattoos.
Yeah.
How many tattoos you got?
I have 6.
6. What are they of?
One is of John Henry. One is of a grasshopper from the ant, the grasshopper fable, Aesop. One of them is, what's another one? Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory woman. I got a William Blake line, and the just man rages in the wilds where lions roam. Poem by Robert Creeley. The whole poem is short. It says, "Here is where there is." And I got sort of like a sketch of, well, it's just a silhouette, I guess. Is it a silhouette? No. Either way, it's the dude standing in front of the tank in Tiananmen Square on my back right shoulder.
How old were you when you got the first one? Which one was the first one?
21. The first one was the William Blake one.
What was that all about?
It was actually it was from my reading of William Blake, and I got it because I was having a difficult time in life, and I wanted sort of a code established on me.
Now, having the tattoos, when you look at your tattoos, do you like revisit the time that you got it, that time frame of mind or anything?
Some of them. Some of them. The first 3, more often than not. Well, first 4. The Tribe Called Quest one, I mean, it's the most decorative one, you know.
Why Tribe Called Quest? Why the lady?
Because Low End Theory is like one of the best albums of all time. That's why.
Do you have?
And it's also made for the best, like, as far as like having like a hip hop image, like a lot of other things would come off as just like aesthetically garbage on like when tattooed on a person. They just wouldn't look good unless you got like the $40,000 tattoo artist that you fly in from like Belize or something like that, and you can't. So, you know, and all my tattoos are black ink because it's less prone to fading, and, you know, I think it translates better over time. But so the Low End Theory illustration in black ink it looked the best of my other options. You know, I wasn't gonna get like the Bizarre Ride roller coaster, you know, like that or something like that. That was gonna be too hard. So, anyway, how you doing? Good. Just doing an impromptu interview with Mr. Conscious over here.
How you doing? You got like a major like lust for it now, or you?
Oh yeah, I just been holding off because I always like to put some time in between them.
And it's quite expensive if you get something elaborate done.
Yeah, I want to cover my whole back with it, and both forearms, and that's probably going to be the end of it in all likelihood.
Which was the most painful?
The Low End Theory one. It's on the rib, and the rib is so painful to get a tattoo on.
It's kind of funny. Hip hop was the most painful one. I'm sure that making the decision to be an MC has been painful in your life at some points.
It's such like for like a cathartic like moving album that like is about like it make that out Low End Theory makes you feel good. You know, it's not an abrasive album. It's, you know, quote unquote abrasive qualities, but they're intentional and they're by design and they're you know musically brilliant. But like you know, I'll say this. When you get a tattoo on your rib, don't count on breathing right. Like you have to breathe shallow. It's actually on the hook, like it's like sort of alluded to of the song I have about tattoos. It's called Rusted Ghosts, because tattoo ink is like partly like rust. It's like chemically rust. So like you have like rust in your body in scars, and everything that I have, you know, and all tattoos are you know by design retrospective. You know, you don't like unless you get a tattoo of something that you think is going to happen or like are later going to make, and even then even if you were to get a predictive tattoo or a tattoo of an ambition, once it's realized, then again it becomes reminiscent, and that's the nature of it. I don't really get them generally for like, I mean, I don't want them to be unsightly ever, but I generally don't get them for like decorative purposes. Generally, they always have to symbolize something or say something overtly.
That makes sense. So tattoos, no piercings?
No piercings, no.
Never?
No, that's not my thing.
I can't do the piercings. I figure there's a few things that I won't do. There's a lot of things that I will do. Actually, I want to skydive this year, but piercings, no. You can write on me, but you can't stab me, poke me, and you can't handcuff me. Yeah, I'm not into bondage at all.
Yeah, that could be a little demoralizing depending on what your inclinations are, and also depending on what your associations are with it from a socio-historical perspective. You certainly don't like.
Indeed.
I can understand, given if anyone comes from an ancestry where being shackled is part of the history, I can imagine, though for some, they feed into that. Like I was watching a documentary on fetishes, and like it straight up there were people who were living out, I swear to God, like with like dominatrices and mistresses they're referred to. They were like acting out. These dudes were acting out Holocaust and slavery fantasies.
Yeah, it's not even that strange. Because my friend was telling me the other day, it was about some porn or something that was online. She said that there are these white men, right, that like to get black men to screw their wives in front of them.
Common porn thing.
But more so, what kind of like it kind of made me shake a little bit was the whole coming in the face of the individual that is watching his wife.
Whoa.
Yeah, a lot of that going on. Coming, it's.
So that's really like, but it's
yeah, like licking jizz off of a penis, that type of stuff.
Well,
it's one thing to be watching somebody, but then it just gets deeper and deeper.
That's like really, no pun intended, like really plunging into like getting off on like inversion of like social, like current social power dynamics in today's society. Like that's like really like,
yeah,
that's very layered.
Well,
I find like it's crazy. You can learn a lot about America's race dynamics through pornography.
Or you can just say life is an adventure.
That's an adventure.
Whatever
right? To me.
Whatever you choose to do in this existence.
It's a normal conversation in this part.
Whatever happens in the third dimension stays in the third dimension.
That's crazy. Well, but you know what?